Uzalwane inkwathe. Mdala sagcinana. Nabaserazi wenzenjani? Angikhumbuleleli nelona ne-YouTube service. When you say I'm looking forward to it, hey, no. Ngithi ngibongela umfundisi uMancane. Ukuthi hayi uye i-trend center yama YouTube. Bazalwane ngijabulile manje ukuba nani after a long time. Usho uNkulunkulu wakuphendula umthandazo wami ukuthi masiqala ukuzosevisa inkonzo sinomfundisi usemelana ukuthi singabonani njalo. Ngoba sisijwayelana. So kuba mnandi ukuthi sikhumbulane ngikhumbule nani nikhumbule. Mangifika ngithola ama dates hawu sekwenzeka kanje. Like I was in ukuthi hawu sekomdala. Ngene lapha ngithi uthula ungenzani. How. So bazalwane, it is a great pleasure ukuthi ngibe senkonzweni. Namhlanje ngihamba nomfana wami. Yaqala kuzenkonzweni. So ngizomsurprise ukuthi aphambi unamahloni akafani nami. Nhlanhla. Cela ufake imandla lekamukele. Amen. Bazalwane, ekseni nje ngithanda sikhulume ngobungozi behind the phrase ethi what can I do for me to attain eternal life? What can I do ukuze mele ngenzeni ukuze ngizuze impilo enjani engunaphakade? Le statement lesi sinobungozi. Moreover, if uzobona umKristu lo ofuna uwe salvation by works that has no compassion in it. Yes, what? Yeah, ngoba iningi lethu siphethe le salvation by works and sikhohlakele. Yasikhohlakele and ukukhohlakala kwethu asikubonisi lapho esimemeza le salvation by works. The salvation by works. Now our text for consideration is Luke chapter 10, the parable of the Samaritan.
Okay.
Luke chapter 10, verses 25 to 37. Luke chapter 10, verses 25 to 37. Kule parable lena, as you know, it's a dialogue between uJesu ne lawyer of the time, or a Pharisee of the time. So I lawyer iletha lendaba esokhuluma ngayo namhlanje. Now ifundeka kanje ke. And a lawyer stood up and put him to the test, saying, "Teacher, what shall I do to inherit eternal life?" This lawyer is not genuine in his question. It's not genuine. This is not a genuine question. This is not a question efuna ukuba informed. Yathola, and move from that point being informed and be productive. Do you follow? Actually, the question inoqhophololo ngesixhosa. Disingenuous. So from seseqala nje kwalapho sesiya le thought leyo kuba what can I do to inherit the eternal life It was more often than not the people who were raising this question, which Jesus Christ in Kukuma Gospel, were not honest. It was not an honest question. Okay. It was not an honest question. Are we together? And 26, and he said to him, what is written in the law? How does it read to you? And he answered, you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart. Is it doing what? Is it doing? And with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your strength, and with all your mind, and your neighbor as yourself. And your neighbor as yourself. And what? And your neighbor as yourself. Indlela aphendula ngayo ke le lawyer le etesta uJesu. Uyaqhubeka uJesu and he said to him, you have answered correctly. Do this and you will live. In the original language, go on doing this and you will live. But wishing to justify himself, he said to Jesus, and who is my neighbor? So that is a topic. It has to do with our neighbors. Do you follow? It has to do with our neighbors. And they will know who is our neighbors. Now, uJesu Kristu umeqhubeka ke uphendula lo mbuzo ukuthi who is what? Who is my neighbor? Uqhubeka athi ke uJesu iparable kaJesu Kristu ianswera iquestion who is my neighbor? Are we together? Ngoba idoing yethu impilo yethu emhlabeni siphila nabantu esiphila nabo from the family circles to outside. Are we together? So thina ke njengamaKristu abanye bethu ke sipusha salvation by works. Le proponent yayo la is this law, is this Pharisee. Now Jesus Christ now uthi ke uma ephendula who is my neighbor? Jesus replied and said, a man was going down from Jerusalem to Jericho and fell among robbers, and they stripped him and beat him and went away, leaving him half dead. My version, they were unconscious. And by chance, a priest was going down on the road, and when he saw and passed by on the other side, the priest. Likewise, a Levite also, when he came to the place and saw and passed on the other side. So the Levite and the priest, they did what? They saw Benzani Badlula. Verse 33. But a Samaritan who was on a journey came upon him, and when he saw him, like the Levite and the what? And the priest, he felt what? Compassion. The issue is with salvation yethu, it's about the compassion. Yeah. A result into the action. So salvation yethu is the doing that result from compassion. Are we together? Yeah. So now Jesus, he will be dealing with that. But the Samaritan who was on a journey came upon him, and when he saw him, he felt compassion. When this Samaritan, uyazihambela, uyazikruzela, mhlawumbe uya eDurban, uhlangana nesituation. Ngifolo? Uyama. Then wenzani? Verse 34, and came to him and bandaged up his wound, pouring oil and wine on them, underline. And he put him on his own beast, Amayama version, and on the donkey, and brought him in an inn and took care of him. Amayama version, when he brought him into the inn, he was leading the donkey. I think he is one. And the Lord this act. Akazange abuze ukuthi what shall I do to inherit the eternal life. But uJesu Kristu uaddressa who is my neighbor. Kodwa indaba isuka ekuthinini ke ngingenzani ukuze ngenzeni ngithole impilo ngisuze yini impilo engunaphakade. Verse 35 uyabuza ke asiqedele verse 35. On the next day he took out 2 denarii and gave them to the innkeeper and said, take care of him, whatever more you spend, when I return I will repay you. Mamela verse 36 athi, which of these three, uJesu uyabuza ke ubuza ke lo obuze ukuthi who is what, who is my neighbor, which of these three do you think proved to be a neighbor to the man who fell into the robbers' hands? Yizwa ke make phendula. Mamela uJesu Kristu umeke qala iparable yeSamaritan, umbize ngegama uthe is a Samaritan. Yakubona yizwa ke make phendula. And he said, the one who showed mercy towards him. You can read Amanda Tones kulo answer leyo. Mama lo muntu ubuza is a power, is a ileke ngwele yangaleso sikhathi. Are we together? Uhlulwa yena nje lo mSamaria. You see it? AyikuJesu Kristu make qala iparable uthe a Samaritan. So in narrative it's about what? A Samaritan. But izwani abantu be salvation by works. Uma bebona abanye abantu benza umsebenzi abahlele ukuwenza. Bezuphendula uthi, and he said, the one who showed mercy towards him. Then Jesus said to him, go and do the same. Mangithi wena ufuna ukusindiswa ngokwenza. Are we together? Ngoba mina insindiso engilethile mina Jesu insindiso by grace, not by works, by works. Now into ezakalayo la ukuthi the lawyer, this Pharisee, uma ebuza ukuthi what must I do to inherit the eternal life? Isetting la eyenzakalayo ukuthi ngokuthi uyaphakama uma ebuza umbuzo. Now isetting yalapho simply means kusho ukuthi uJesu as a rabbi was teaching. Now we setting yabo during the lesson, rabbi utisha ufundisa ehleli phansi. Now student umasifuna ukubuza ukubonisa respect siyaphakama. Are we together? Angithi thina learning setting thina sikhuliswa kule European ye-Western setting where a teacher must stand. But here into enzakalayo no uma irabbi ifundisa wonke umuntu uhleli. Are we together? Wonke umuntu uhleli, then mawufuna ukubuza as a sign of respect uyaphakama. Now this lawyer, this Pharisee uyaphakama as if ubonise respect. Are we together? Number one. Number two, uthi kuJesu teacher. And then uJesu ngaleso sikhathi bebemxwayile uJesu Kristu ngoba now ivangeli azanayo yathola ivangeli yomusa, ivangeli yokholwa. Are we together? And then now when we go into the background of this text, sizothola ke ukuthi ke now as he stands, this lawyer now uthi ke ngoba nami I'm a lawyer yathola, I'm a recognized rabbi yathola, so nami ngikaddressa as my equal. Are we together? Ngikaddressa as my equal. Now by so doing he affirms Jesus as an equal. Now uJesu Kristu now angena the question, what must I do to inherit eternal life? And then now uJesu was stunned by the question. Because now we Old Testament economy, the understanding the inheritance is that inheritance uyithola as a gift. You don't work for inheritance. Are we together? For kuwe ukuthi utholeke inheritance konjini ifa kumele uzalwe kwifamily le ozothola ifa kulo. Are we together? Hence New Testament uJesu uza nokuzalwa kabusha hayi ngokwenza. Are we together? But now uJesu Kristu uaddressa abantu itheology yabo about insindiso. It's on doing. It's on doing. Sama sonke bandla. Why Jesu Kristu anal understanding yokuthi now inheritance is about a gift. Now Israel uma ephuma eEgypt, iKanana was a gift from God to them. Akhona abayenzile ukuze ba receive iKanana. It was a gift from God. So now the concept of inheritance isuka from lapho. Are we together? Ukuthi now lelizwe abalithola laseKanane isipho uNkulunkulu abaphe sona. Ngoba ubakhiphe eGibhithe beyisizwe esincane esinganakeki. Are we together? So yobapha inheritance. Hence throughout the years uma bemane beapostolize uNkulunkulu unokubashaya ukuthi baphume ezweni baye ekudingisweni baphinde babuye. So now the concept is salvation, insindiso it emanates from that which now insindiso is about the gift of God, not about you doing something. So Israel inherited the promised land as the inheritance. Now kumbula ngithi mabengena eKanana bashukahlukana namazwe nemihlaba. Isizwe sithile sathola indawo ethile isizwe as an inheritance. But now after the Old Testament period, the phrase the inheritance of the earth they apply with salvation njengoba besengizini. Now the understanding here lawyer about inheritance ukuthi inheritance iba eternal life. And the way to achieve it, it's about keeping the law. Now, theology, ebebefundiswe yona amanye ama-rabbis angaleso sikhathi. Now, beyithi, great is the Torah, for it gives to them that practice a life that you will live in a world and in a world to come. So now they were taught that who has gained for himself the word of Torah has gained for himself the life of the world to come. So now, lawyer ibuza lo mbuzo against this background. Yoguti, when you keep the law, you will have what? You will have eternal life. That is why he boldly asked the question. Because now, ideology, imfundiso yangaleso sikhathi ukuthi ke now uba ngcwele and uzophila impilo phakathi ngokugcina imithetho kaMose. So now yonke lento the lawyer bekifunda kwiMishnah nakwiTalmud. Now iMishnah bekuyincwadi ebeyibhale lemithetho, the oral tradition, lemithetho le eza through oral tradition. Are we together? So now then iTalmud yona ke bekule mithetho le ebeyibhalwa ama-rabbis angaleso sikhathi uma ekhomenta ngey'ncwadi zikaMose. Ngicela nikeze isikhathi ngifuna unikeze i-background for you to appreciate the parable. Okay. So now since I understand up until now, ukuthi now the background of the question is what must I do to inherit the eternal life? Ukuthi itheology yangaleso sikhathi ithi uma ugcina umthetho unokuphila unjani omnaphakade. So now do you understand ukuthi now i-background ye-question? Now and befundiswa ukuthi now the sinners inherit the grave and darkness and destruction, but the pious of the Lord shall inherit life in gladness if they keep the Torah. Do you follow? Iqhubeka ithi le theology yabo, to them that walk in the righteousness of his commandments, in the law which commanded us, that we might live. So now, according to them, eternal life has inheritance in it. And now that inheritance comes through keeping what? The Torah. So now, esinye omurabha wangaleso sikhathi ubhala uthi, the place Eden, O Enoch, is prepared for the righteous, who enjoy all manner of offense from those that exasperate their souls, who avert their eyes from iniquity, and make righteous judgments, and give bread to the hungering, and cover naked with clothing, and raise up the fallen, and help injured offense, and he who walk without fault before the face of the Lord, and serve him alone, and for them is prepared this place for eternal inheritance. So now understand ukuthi lawyer it comes from which understanding and which background. To a certain extent, yes, it's a sincere. Are we together? But now the problem is what the problem with Jesus Christ? Because uJesu Christ now associate nabantu abangasubscribe. Are we together? So now hence the test, which has now that into a chance, Jesu, you go to interact now, debate now. Let me raise this question. Because my theological understanding of eternal life is based on doing. Do you want? Now, Jesus in answering here two options. Because siyathola uJesu Kristu ukuthi understand ngiyala ukuthi lana insindisi is about keeping the law and do good to abantu phila nabo. Are we together? Abantu abaphila nabo. So uJesu Kristu an option yokuthi okay, I'm dismissed there and there. But you've got it wrong, Mina. You've got it wrong, Mina. Yathola. Inheritance is a gift. And let's go. Then the case is closed. Are we together? What's about Jesus? No, he hasn't eating him seeds. Yeah. Let me take the route. Le akamnabuyo of thinking that eternal life is through keeping what? The law. Hence, uJesu Kristu ke athi ke a concentrator kwindaba yomthetho. Are we together? Then uJesu uyambuza ke ukuthi ke, and he said to me, what is written in the law? How do you understand? How do you interpret the law? Okay, uJesu umbuza lo mbuzo against the background ukuthi okay, no, engqondweni yakhe it's about doing. Sama sonke bandla? Okay. Sonke. Now Jesus Christ is concentrating on the law. Why? Because the rabbis were uneasy about Jesus' attitude towards the law. Hence, he was tested by the question there. So now, uJesu Christ, okay, uma imphendula, respond by the question in answering the lawyer's test. Ukuthi uJesu Christ ke now. Uthi okay, ukubale konke. Ama do's and don'ts, keep the law. Nakhumbula. Uthi uJesu Christ ke. Do that and live. Are we together? Now, sekuyabuya engqondweni kwi-lawyer uthi man, uma ngiqhubeka ngikwenza lokho, kumele ngikwenze kubani? Aningizwa. Kumele ngikwenze kubani? Are we together? Because those ifundiswe thina kwi-theology yethu yokuthi ke insindise about keeping the law and do good to other people. Are we together? And uJesu Kristu ke umfaka kwi-trap ukuthi kumele ngikwenze lokho. And mina lapho engiphila khona as a lawyer, ngiphila nama relatives ami nabantu bezizwe. Are we together? Hence the question, who is my neighbor? You follow? Then to put another question like, who is my neighbor? Now Jesus Christ ke impendulweni yakhe is widening the discussion. Ukuthi okay, zonke lento zivalile ezikumthetho kaMose. Now it apply kwimpilo yonke. So in essence, uJesu in commanding an open-ended lifestyle that requires unlimited and unqualified love for God and people. So Jesus Christ uthi yazini, ngoba when you are determined ukuthi ufuna ukusindiswa, ufuna insindiso ehambisana nokwenza, and leyo insindiso ehambisana nokwenza ile wena oyifunayo, uthi ke qhubeka kumthande uNkulunkulu nomakhelwane wakho kuyo yonke lonto leyo. But now ilawyer iyabuza, who is my neighbor? Lo ekumele ngimthande as myself. So now uJesu Kristu ke uma responda into that question. Now ilawyer kahle be expecte ukuthi now ngifunde yonke lemithetho le. Ngicela nambe nambandla. Ngifunde yonke lemithetho le kaMose. And mina ke ngeyondlela engiphila ngayo ngiyayenza. Do you follow? Ngiyayenza. So now le lawyer le expecte ukuthi ke uJesu ayishayela izandla uthi yes vele ke uphila kanjalo. Are we together? Now uJesu Kristu now uletha i-twist yokuthi yazini nina lo mthetho nokugcina niyafake. It's a fake indlela engcina ngayo umthetho nangendlela enifuna ukusindiswa ngayo ngokugcina umthetho. Nabazalwane ngifuna ukuncenga kule party le. Ngifuna ukuncenga ngoba into ekumele isize these nowadays. Ngizwile siya ikhulumekile esifundweni ngathi idinga isithulele. Idinga isithulele. What must I do to be saved? What must I do to be saved? Now, ngalesikhathi bebephila ngaso. Now there were various definitions of who is your neighbor. Hence, the lawyer ibuza ukuthi who is my neighbor? All together. There was a teaching at in neighbor yakho is your fellow brother, is your countryman. All together. So bebefundiswe kanjalo kodwa ideology yabo ithi ke your neighbor unozalwa naye na umJuda nalo ozalwa naye. All together. So now uJesu Kristu na ufuna ukuletha element yoku expand ukuthi no, you've got it wrong. Because mina Jesu noma ngizalelwa kwi-culture yesiJuda but ekugcineni angizange kuzofela amaJuda ningizwa. Do you follow? Ngizalwa emaJudeni. Ngikhona ngeculture yamaJuda. And njengoba sidiscussa i-culture yamaJuda, amaJuda they were understanding ngakhona insindiso ngokugcina imithetho kaMose. But mina Jesu ngilethe umbuso wezulu, and umbuso wezulu u-inclusive, and then mina ni-exclusive. Do you follow? Because the question is around who is my neighbor. According to the understanding, a neighbor bona is exclusive to a relative and a Jew. Are we together? And a Jew. And you will remember what again now. They had enemies. There were nations who were enemies. We Jews. Are we together? So now those enemies are falling. We category of loving your Lord with all your strength, your mind, and your neighbor. Abafoni. Hence ke uJesu ke now uza ne parable. Are we together? And the parable uJesu Kristu aza nayo i-addressa le theology abanayo. Now, i-theology abanayo ngabantu who are not the Jews ithi they were taught that heretics, informers, renegades should be punished or should be pushed into the ditch and not be pulled out. According to theology yabo beyithi the Gentiles among whom and us there is no war. And so those that are keepers of the sheep amongst the Israelites and the like, we are not to contrive their death, but if they be in any danger of death, we are not bound to deliver them. E.g., for example, if any of them fall into the sea, you shall not need to take them out. For it is said, thou shalt not rise up against the blood of your neighbor, but such a one is not thy neighbor. So now, when exclusivity yabo, never exclusivity yabo, uthi yazi noma ungaba nesisebenzi esingasi umJuda, ungamsiza to a certain level. Are we together? Hence, uJesu alethe questionnaire, who is what? My neighbor. Your neighbor. That's all. Because now, ubungwele babo buselective. Kugcina umthetho and okuhle bakwenza within. Are we together? Bakwenza within the midst. And uJesu Kristu now, uma eletha i-character ye-Samaritan now, is breaking the bounds. Do you know what? So uJesu now that sekeyibonile le theology yabo ebhedayo. Yebo ebheda. Yebo ebheda. And nathi abaninzi were caught into that theology. Kuthi hayi mina ngisiza nje abantwana basekhaya. I-relative yasekhaya. Yathola uma ngithi ngiphumela ngaphandle ngisiza ama-Adventist. Aningezwa. Because abantu esikholwa nabo. Yathola abantu bangishonele yibo bayeza. So ama-resources uNkulunkulu angibusise ngawo, I will only use them for laba bantu. And as ngiyuza ngisebenzela insindiso aningizwa bazalwane. We are caught into this. We are so caught into this. As a result, abanye bethu ama-families ethu asifuna ukwabona. Ngoba sesiyini singamasala. Yathola I've got this family, this heavenly family. Yathola so sengithathe everything. Ngalaba kusukela kulabo kuma relatives. Yathola mangiphume ngaphandle labo subgroup yangigcina ama-Adventist. More than ama-family members out to get. I don't mind to go out of my way for an Adventist. How together? Because ngokwenza lokho ngibheke ukuthi uNkulunkulu uzongibusisa. Ukuthi ngenza okuhle kulomkholwa naye. How together? Kodwa lo Jesu osifeleyo akafelanga ama-Adventist. Jesu akafelanga ama-Kristu. For God so loved the what? Hence uJesu aletha i-question of who is what? Your neighbor. Now Jesu Kristu eletha who is your neighbor. Usaphinde uyahambisana nale doing. Yathola ngoba this doing is embedded. Yakhelekile. Yathola i-concrete yakhona inzima le concrete. Uthi noma kunjalo ke ithi ngihambe nayo le doing. How together? Then in narrative kwi-parable uthi ke manje kwi-parable there was a Samaritan. Are we together? There was a what? A Samaritan. Not only Samaritan, kune-Levite, kune-priest. Yabona balashela ngaphandle kule doing. What must I do to be saved? Are we together? What must I do to be saved? So now, kunale ndoda le eqhamuka eJerusalema ihamba endleleni eyaziwa ukuthi notorious. Because le ndlela le, this 27 kilometers from Jerusalem to Jeruk, le ndlela le bekuyindlela nje evele efana nalama highway la kunale board le high accident yabona ukuthi yeah. Nale ndlela le bekuyi high accident ngama robbers. Are we together? And le ndlela bayayazi uJesu parable azanaye ukhuluma ngento abafamilia ngayo ukuthi vele le ndlela ephuma eJerusalem eJericho notorious. Are we together? Then make ikhuluma parable Jesu uthi there was this man who was robbed and bayazi ukuthi vele abantu bayarojwa. Are we together? So Jesu ufana nokuthi benginalomfana bekahamba eSmall amaphara wazangamiyeke. Do you follow? Because there's a small ukuthi amaphara ayabuza. Do you follow? So uJesu Kristu usebenzisa le parable using indawo abafamilia kuyo. Now this man is being robbed and is left half what? dead. How together? Then the parable it again. There was a priest or come up at Jerusalem. Now the priest or come at Jerusalem utati off. The priest le uhlale eJericho but usebenza ukhonza eJerusalem. So now uba seJerusalem for 2 weeks. Kule 2 weeks there uye officiate ama sacrifice. Are we together? Officiate ama sacrifice. Are we together? Le priest le naye ubanjwe le theology yalelonya anengezwa. Do you follow? Yes. Hence umeqhamuka uyambona. Are we together? Now ama priest angaleso sikhathi namhlanje besingababiza ukuthi bahlala emasababsini. Yathola uhlala bomba Bryanston uhamba ngemoto. Okay. He was driving a donkey. Now when he saw this man who is naked, this robbed person is what? Is naked and is half dead. Uma eqhamuka embona as a priest, akazange ehle nokwehla ngoba according to ama rituals priest okuqala akumelanga asondele i-proximity yakhe kumuntu olimele izomenza ukuthi abe unclean. Ubanjwe yini? Salvation by works. Ayizwa. Salvation by works. Yathola ukuthi ngiyakwazi ukumsiza nama resources okumsiza but inkolo yami ngoba uma ngisondela ngimthinta yathola I'll be ceremonially what? Unclean. And ukuthi ngihlanzeke as a priest ngithatha iviki. Sure. Are we together? So now you have to choose to maintain ubu priest anengizwa. You have to maintain ubu priest at the expense. Sure. Are we together? Yes. Because umethinta umuntu o half dead is ceremonially what? Unclean. Hence unama resources okumsiza but i-theology ayivumi ukuthi enzeni. Number one. Number two, this person is naked. And as he is naked, you cannot tell ukuthi ukwephi nationality. Because ngaleso sikhathi indlela yoku-identify a foreigner, a stranger, indlela agqoke ngayo nendlela akhuluma ngayo. Are we together? Ngidwa namhlanje mangaqhamuka ngisengozweni ngizivula phenyeni ngengubo ndothi ngiphumela isutha ngithi. Do you follow? Ngoba ngisemfakeni ingubo ngiqhamuke ngigqoke iBrainwood nekhavela. Inamusa identify kanjani? How to get now it catch ukuthi this person is naked and is unconscious, he cannot talk, so he cannot be identified ukuthi umJuda, umSamaria or uyini. Are we together? Hence the first 2 years ani iyamdlula. Why? Not because bebejahele enkonzweni. Baphuma eJerusalem baye eJericho. Ayeveka abafundisi nabanye abafushumayeli bathi hayi wamdlula ngoba bekejahele enkonzweni. Phuma eJerusalem. Yoseva off thatha ama off. Are we together? So the first person in the scene, what he does, he arrives on the scene. Are we together? And he does nothing. Instead, wenzani umdlule njalo. So ne-Levite uma ifika nayo, probably Levite ngoba indlela khona iyehla nje is descending. I-Levite onizwe imbonile umpriest edlula. Are we together? Now yathi hawu ngoba i-hierarchy ngaleso sikhathi umpriest umkhulu kune-Levite.
Are we together? So uLevite how makedlulwe umpriest osaba naye ukuthi abe ansemur anklimo ubani mina. Are we together? So uyadlula. So all of them, they came into the scene and they did nothing bahamba. What? The robbers abokuqala on the scene. The second one, the priest, the Levite. Then asibheke imisebenzi yeSamaritan. Laba bazile and did nothing. Are we together? And they are amaKrestu, ama-Adventist. Are we together? Ama-Adventist. Isikhathalele mkhulu nasenkonzweni hayi. Lozosithayela. Sinikeze lift. Futhi uzosikhipha nasendleleni. Aningizwa bazalwane. Are we together? Bengishumayela mangiphuma. Yathiwa nginama resource okusiza. Are we together? But ayenzeni angisizi. Kodwa ngilindele uJesu obuyayo. Yena owehla wazisiza ngempilo yakhe. Wazosiza ngempilo yakhe. Now, into ezoyenzwa iSamaritan la icompensator ifailure yepriest neLevite. Niyabona lento le nama-robbers. That's what the Samaritan does kule parable. Because now, kumbulani, the robbers, they took his money and they left him half dead with no intention to return. With no intention to return. Now, the Samaritan pays when he got into the inn. The robbers took his money and left him for dead after it. But the Samaritan, yenzani, uyamthatha mayifike elonini ukhiphe emalini yakhe angayibudgetelanga aningizwa. What must I do to inherit eternal what? Life. Angayibudgetelanga. Sadly, umpriest namaLevite, they left this guy ukuthi no avele enzeni abafuni ukubandakanya. Yathola. So bonke laba abayi-3, they left this guy ongachazeki ukuthi umhloboni, unconscious, half dead. Now the stranger la ngisengishilo ukuthi identifywa ukuthi ukhuluma kanjani, ugqoke kanjani. Umelana enye itheology yabapriest ithi if you do good you must know for whom you are doing it for. That's what they are taught. The rabbis, the lawyers, the Levites, the priests. And your deeds will not go to waste. Do good to a devout man, and you will receive reward. If not from him, then certainly from the Most High. Give to a devout man. Do not go to help a sinner. Do good to a humble man. Give nothing to a godless one. Refuse him bread. Do not give him anything. Why? It might make him stronger than you are. Then you would be repaid evil twice for all the good you had done to him. For Most High himself detests the sinner. In other words, God detests the sinner. That's the theology. And will repay the wicked with vengeance. Give to a good man and do not go to help a sinner. That's what the rabbis of the day taught them. Are we together? And the Natila will be exclusive Adventist. Yatwala sizithola sikuleso simo leso. Ukuthi sisiza masisiza siyacwasa ubani. Yabona ukuthi indaba ye-salvation by inengozi kanjani? Yabona ukuthi inengozi kanjani? Yizo ama-rabbis babafundisene. Whence do we know that if a man sees his fellow drowning, mauled by a beast, or attacked by robbers, he is bound to save him, though shall not stand by the blood for thy neighbor. So now if a neighbor, somebody don't relate naye, ephumegazi, dlula. So now understand? Why badlulile? Why badlulile? Hence, unesibindi lo sokubuza uJesu, what shall I do to inherit the eternal what? Life. So inkinga yabo bebonke behlanganisiwe. The commandment not to defile themselves was unconditional, while the commandment to love their neighbor was conditional. Now when inkinga nge-salvation by works, kuthi le misebenzi lesi sifuna ukuyenza ukuze sisindiswe, siyakhetha. Yathola. So now the priest and the Levite were the victims of the rule of book of ethical and theological system. Life of them was codified system of do's and don'ts. Asisole sikuma do's and don'ts. Asike siphikisane ngama do's and don'ts esifundweni. Are we together? Bese kube khona ababizwa ama-liberal. Bese kube khona ababizwa ini? Ama-conservative. Because sibanjwe ini? Is-salvation by what? By works. Sibanjwe is-salvation by works. As here towards the close, let's talk about the Samaritan. Who is a hero? The Samaritan parable is a what? Is a hero. Is one ukuthi ke now theology yabo bebefundiswa ini ngabezizwe, including the Samaritans. Njengoba uJesu kwiparable uletha iSamaritan as a hero. Nabazalwane, ngifuna siphume la si understand ubungozi be-salvation by works. Bona sambe siphuma ngalo myanga si understand kahle hle ubungozi nenkohlakalo that is hidden beneath is-salvation by what? By works. Now they were told to now there are two nations that they must detest with their souls. The third is not a nation at all. The inhabitants of the Mount of Seir and the Philistine, Samaritan, and the stupid people living at Shechem. I'm a mobiles now. So now, with theology yabo, they must make it a point, when they come across these nations, in the Caesar, they shut it down. Sure. They were taught. This is what they were taught. Now, Mishnah declares that he that eats the bread of the Samaritan is like the one who eats the flesh of the swine. Hence, uJesu, with parable, he brings a Samaritan as a hero. Nabona uJesu ukuthi bacorrecta kanjani? Yathola, kule salvation by what? By works. Yathola. So uJesu uthatha i-enemy yabo iba yi-hero in saving this person. Do you follow? At the time of Jesus, there was bitterness between ama-Samaritan and ama-Jews. Recently, ama-Samaritan
amba abamoka ayothatha ama-skulls amabhunzi abantu abafile ayowalahlela kwi-temple court. Are we together? But here is Jesus. Kuleyo environment leyo uJesu Christ now he brings a Samaritan kule parable as a hero. As a hero. So nabona indaba insindisi ukuthi ihamba kanjani according to iZulu. Do you see it? Ukuthi ihamba kanjani according to iZulu. Ukuthi manje uJesu Christ is telling us ukuthi yazini reconsider is salvation by works. Because ayisebenzeli engeke isebenzele engeke isindise akonsindiso kwi salvation by works. Naye emshaka ukugcina what they were taught. The Samaritans were publicly cursed in synagogues. And a petition was daily offered up praying to God that the Samaritan might not be partakers of eternal life. And kunabantu la thina esifunge ngabo kuthi lo make ezulwini angike lo zulu ayakulo. Bakhona abakhona la enkonzweni and ama-families esiphila nabo bangani kunabantu esingafuni anything ekoma-enemies kithi ethi maye ngasindiswa lo hayi nami ngiyongena ngigijima kulelo zulu. And in this case uJesu kule parable uletha ama-Samaritan ulethi ama-Samaritan ukwiloya kumfarazi as a neighbor ngoba egcineni uJesu ubuza ukuthi who is the one obonise yini umusa kulo muntu bekelibele. And according to the level to the lawyer is an enemy. You will now understand why Jesus Christ mayehlangana neSamaritan woman wacela abafundi bakhe bahambe bothenga benze shopping. Aningizwa la. You follow? Because of the hatred ebeyiqhubeka between the Samaritans and the Jews. But now Jesus kule parable uletha iSamaritan as a hero. Ekumele bafunde kuye. Ukuthi uma bafuna salvation by works, they must learn from the enemy. They must learn from the enemy. Because never pete akusiyiyo. According to them, the Samaritan is not a Gentile. He is bound by the Torah that tells him that his neighbor is his countryman and kinsman, flesh and blood. Kumbulani, briefly, ama-Samaritan now bebenenkolo, bebekholelwa kuAbraham, bebenethempeli labo, bebenomthetho wabo. Are we together? But now the thing is, they were not recognized by the Pharisees, especially the law odibhetha noJesu Kristu. Yethwala kunabantu esibabukela phansi abakwezinye inkonzo aningizwa mzalwane esicabanga ukuthi ngokwenkolo abakholelwa kuyo nezinto abazenzayo kule nkolo abakholelwa kuyo angeke basindiswe. Aningizwa mzalwane. And uJesu is bringing that to this lawyer, to this Pharisee. Uthi lefana lama-Samaritan enize nikhuleke enkonzweni yenu kwisinagogo ukuthi uNkulunkulu angabasindisi bathi bheka imisebenzi yabo. Ngazi ithini kimi nawe le phathi ubantu esihlobene nabo nesishomene nabo nesisebenza nabo abakholwa ngendlela ehlukene kunathi but aba honest
honest kwinkolo yabo. But thina sinaleyo superiority complex ukuthi thina siphethe iqiniso. Anengizwe. Thina siphethe yini? Yeah, iqiniso. Bona banaqiniso. But they're honest. They're honest. And Jesus Christ is bringing that to them. Kulo, this pious Pharisee. Uthi uJesu Kristu, he's the one who acts. Kule scenario le. The priest just goes down the road. The Levite comes to a place, but the Samaritan comes to a man. So mele sicheke inkolo yethu kule nkolo right esikuyo. Sicheka kanjani inkolo yethu kule nkolo right esikuyo? Sicheka ngendlela esi-interacta ngayo nabantu esiphila nabo. Are we together? Lesi purity complex ukuthi thina siphethe iqiniso, sazi isiprofeto, we can tell izinto ezenzakala emhlabeni ukuthi sikuphi. Nokubuya kaJesu Kristu angeke usindise. Ngeke usindise lokho. Uma simini kubantu esiphila nabo on daily basis. Uma simini ngeke usebenzele ukuthi ukuthi uMadventist umfundisi womAdventist engusebenzele lowo. Because into engichaza ngale Samaritan, he took a risk yokuthi as he was offering a first aid to this person, Robbers would come. Do you follow? They would come, but he took a risk yokuthi ke uma offera a first aid, it takes usebenzise i-oil ne-wine. Company oil ne-wine. And the priest and the Levite had the oil and the wine. Because it was uNkulunkulu will always resource you. Uma ekulendisa ku situation ekumele usize kuyo. Aningizwa. Ningizwa. They had resources to help. Now this Samaritan, first aid kit yakhe was wine. Nani? Ne oil. And wine ne oil isetshenziswa umpriest nomlevi uma beconducta lama services ama sacrifice. Now this oil ne wine in theological significance. Now ithi ke manje uma eqeda ukuthela i-oil ne-wine, i-oil icleaner inxeba, ilona iwayini iya-disinfector isilonda. Thema iqeda ukwenza lokho wenzani? Wambandesha. And this is the image of God as he acts to save the people. Now, Jeremiah 30, ngenxa isikhathi ngesimfundo. Jeremiah chapter 30 verse 17 noZeya 6 verse 1. Yathola usibonisa uNkulunkulu indlela asisave ngayo, ikesave ngayo uIsrael. Yathola. So now this Samaritan indlela asiza ngayo in a theological significance of what God does in saving men. So now the whole act of the Samaritan is a sacrificial service. Paul akhuluma ngayo ku Romans 12 verses 1. Offer your bodies as a living and holy sacrifice. And this is what we see with the Samaritan. And the priests and the Levites were religious professionals who failed dismally.
Ekugcineni eqeda ukofara i-first aid uyamtransporta. Uhamba ngedonki. Ne? Now ulimele lo muntu. Uyehle edonkini ugibeza yena 7
Yes.
because uya kwi-in edonsa idonki nalo olimele. What a sacrifice.
Sure.
What a sacrifice. At all. And yonke lento Jesu ngifuna ukubethela le part yonke lento Jesu Kristu ufuna ukubonisa a correct answer of what must I do to be what? To inherit eternal life. Which as in be a sacrifice kubantu phila nabo. Are we together? Mamela, this Samaritan was on a journey. Are we together?
Yes.
Usuke ngesikhathi ufuna ukufika ngesikhathi kwi destination.
Yeah.
Do you follow?
Yes.
But we are interrupteka. Are we together? Kule journey yakhe. Yathola. Ustopa everything. Isikhathi sakhe. Ama efforts akhe. Nemali yakhe. Nemali yakhe. Usiza umuntu angamazi. Usiza umuntu angamazi. Are we together? And i-service yakhe yamenza ukuthi ke alale kwi-ina ningizwa. Are we together? Either ufonela umama asini ngizofika kusasa ekuseni. Ngine emergency engiyathendayo.
Hey.
Aningizwa
Yeah.
uzalwane. And le emergency engiyathendayo la sengisebenzise le mali le bengithi siyothenga ikhoza.
Hey.
Aningizwa.
Hey.
What shall I do to inherit eternal life?
Say.
Are we together? Ufika lapha ukhipha 2 dinars. Are we together? Ukuthi benzeni to take care of this person who is half dead. Ukhipha kuma resources akhe. Angawa budgetelanga. Akawa budgetelanga bazalwane. Are we together? Ukangaki thina singasiza abantu because of budget constraints. Aningizwa bazalwane. What must I do to inherit eternal life? What must I do? What must I do? So abantu bazalwane siyadlala. Siyadlala. Ngoba uNkulunkulu ngeke akubeke isituation engaresourceanga. Angeke akubeke isituation engaresourceanga. Problem thina ama resources kaNkulunkulu asibusise ngawo sofaka ku budget aningizwa. Si budgeta i-blessing. Sifaka budget. And masese ku budget sekuyithu. Angeke saseve lento ekumele iseve. And this Samaritan we budget yakhe yet to pay. Are we together? Now bekunalento leyo ukuthi ke uma ukoloda nayikhatsha lama elapha nekhatsha ukuthi uma ukoloda ungakwazi if wamshiya engabhadalelanga bekezothi ke uma lo elimele engakwazi ukubhadala bekuzokuthi asebenze kwi-in aningezwa. So this Samaritan uthi hayazini uma kuukuthi ama expenses aba more ngizobuya ngizozani zokubhadala ngoba akafuni lo osizwayo ukuthi agcine ezithole sebeyi-70 yokuthi abhadale ama services. Offer your bodies as a living sacrifice. And we see kubani enemy. We see enemy. As I close bazalwane. Message yi-1. Indlela yokuthi sisindise bazalwane is to be at service. Yes, what? Is to be at service. And now who is your neighbor? Your neighbor includes your enemy. Aningezwa. Your neighbor includes your enemy. Are we together? Yeah. So thina abanye bethi abamba ama resources ethu ngoba lo muntu kumele asizakale uyi-enemy.
Hey.
Are we together? Uyi-enemy wangenza lokhu nalokhu ba kuze kusola nabantwana. Akwazi ukusiza abantwana bakhe ngento ezwe uye. Are we together? Kodwa la kule parable uJesu Kristu sifundisa ukuthi uma sithi sifuna ukusindiswa ngemisebenzi, mele imisebenzi esiyenza abantu siyenze ngothando, ngecompassion, singafake. Because the Samaritan zange fake. That's why uthi ndithe yonke into. So wafika ekhaya ibank balance ithi 00. Iphelele lapha. Offer yourselves as a living what? Sacrifice. That offer is the doing. According to Jesus Christ, is the doing. Lezo senza ukuthi ke uma ebuya athi ke ngangisejele alingizwe ngangilambile ngangize How together? Ngiyabona ukuthi le yonke le parable ibuyela ekuthinini singabazalwane silindele uJesu Kristu. We must offer our body as living sacrifice. Uma ministry kumele siwenze as individuals. Lapho esiphila khona. So lesifundo sisifundisa ukuthi ke uma sisiza abantu, asiza abantu ngoba lo umndebele alo asumndebele, alo iforeigner alo asiforeigner ahambi lapho. Ngoba uJesu Kristu ngegazi lakhe sonke siyafana kuphi kuye. Lo mthandazo wabazalwane uthi uma siphuma la siphume sesine perspective right. Yes, salvation by works. Yes, salvation by what? By works. Would be everything to those who are in need, especially if you have resources. To help. And ngaleyo ndlela leyo lebandla lizogcwala, ligcwaliswa yini abantu bethe mabe appreciate usizo lwethu, bafuna uzobona lo nkulunkulu esimkhonzayo. Ufuna ubona bani lo nkulunkulu esimkhonzayo ngoba lapho esiphila khona siwusizo. Senala wezi awukwazi ukungaziwa lapho uhlala khona. Awukwazi ngoba lapho uhlala khona kumele waziwe ngathi ukuthi uyasiza. Awukwazi ungaziwe emsebenzini lapho usebenza khona. Awukwazi. All together. Ngiyakuphi? Ngiyakubantu laba bethi mina ngifuna ispaces sami. Ngvala la funa ispaces sami. You can't be a Christian alone. Kunkulunkulu abusisi kufunde kuzwa ngoJesu Kristu Nkosi yethu. Amen.